is your involvement with Suaram, Seacem?
We involved in an activity called the Asia Human Rights Monitoring System, whereby we funded Suaram some money for them to establish a system for them to compile evidences and also a database of human rights violations in Malaysia. Okay, as you are aware, okay, Malaysia will undergo a universal periodic review. Okay, it's actually something like a report card. So Malaysia will go through this process to be assessed by more than 50 countries worldwide on how we perform in our human rights, compliance to human rights, treaty and so on. So apparently Malaysia is one of the worst offender in Asia. We only signed around 3 treaties out of around 10 treaties, and if you look into certain index, for example, the trafficking of human, we are under the watch list, just one step below Myanmar. So we have serious human rights violations in Malaysia. So within this context, we are actually, in collaboration with Suaram, we are hoping to create a kind of database or a monitoring mechanism so that all these human rights violations can be highlighted and communicated to the public.
And the funding that you have helped Suaram with, okay, the source of the funding, is that something that the government is concerned about, and do they need to be concerned about?
Okay. I think this is something, as mentioned earlier this morning, we are very worried. Or I would say concerned, and of course, even we are worried, we will not be easily cowed away. We'll come up with various scenario plans. And I think overall the trend is civil society groups in Malaysia are making a big impact. Okay, and this impact is something that you hardly seen in the last 10 years or 20 years. It's something kind of new, because civil society, given our limited resources, we are able to actually shake the government, okay, with all the issues, all the human rights issues, all the democracy issues. And why this has big impact? Because of the emerging social media, alternative media. So all these views become amplified. So one small group of NGO with 3 people or 4 staff can make a big impact. And because of this, I think the government is very worried with, I would say, the success. So let us understand this organization called OSI. So basically, this is their website. This is a OSI website, Open Society Foundations. You see, George Soros started this foundation based on the philosophy of Karl Popper to create an open society everywhere in the world, so that if there's more democracy, there's more openness, then the society can progress. So what happened is NGOs around the world will apply to George Soros, and if their projects are reasonable, then they will get funding. This is nothing new. Seacem, we already announced that we received money from George Soros many years ago. It's in our website, And in a website like this, National Endowment for Democracy, they already published, okay, their mission statement, and in Malaysia, NED continue to support groups that promote adherence to democratic constitutional norms and to foster public understanding of basic rights. Okay, the mission is already been published, and the recipient of NED grants is already been published many years ago. And why suddenly today? Okay, they want to highlight all this when this is already like in the public. Everybody knows, People know that Seacem received money from OSI is nothing new. And also Parti Gerakan. Okay, Parti Gerakan, as you can see here, is also published here that they receive funding from Friedrich Naumann Stiftung, okay, an original German-based funder organization that is promoting democracy. And you can see here, Parti Gerakan, the name is mentioned here. So it's no big deal, okay? For NGOs to receive fundings, it's no big deal.
And political parties.
Yeah, and also political parties. Okay, I just received an email, and there's apparently the government has instructed Bank Negara to investigate not only Suaram but all NGOs in Malaysia that receive foreign fundings. You know, so I think they are trying to play the Malay sentiment. Okay, anything that is linked to Jewish and also Zionist is a bit sensitive here. It is not true that all Jewish people or philanthropists are bad. George Soros, for example, he's also anti-Bush and actually funded Obama to win the election. Okay, so when Obama won the election, it will also benefit the Muslim community. He actually set up and actually set up a lot of dialogues with the Muslim world. Okay, so George Soros funded campaigns to bring up Obama, and it benefit the Muslim community. Okay, so I don't see the reason for us here to link Jewish with Zionists. Okay, that is a different thing. So in fact, the question I want to ask here is, how about UPCO? You know, so why not we investigate UPCO and who is behind UPCO and why government is receiving advice from so-called pro-Zionist members. Okay, the way I look at it now, okay, there's two scenarios here. Okay, scenario one is they may use legislation to clamp down on us. Okay, they may introduce some kind of law that forbids us from receiving foreign funds or anything that they perceive as political in nature. This is based on Singapore. Okay, the Singapore model is like this. The second scenario is they may intensify the investigation and find some weaknesses in some accounting or what call that, or documentation, and will then charge the NGOs, or maybe use this as an excuse to arrest them and put them in jail. So we are looking into these two scenarios, and at the end of the day, is to silence NGO. I know this context, I think is about the election. Okay, leading towards the election, they will create these issues to confuse the public, especially the Malay community, the Malay voters, because anything that is linked with foreign funds, Jewish, for them it's like, this group are supported by Jewish, therefore it's anti-Islam, something like that. They try to play this psychological warfare. Even the clampdown, Suaram, maybe what will pop up is another 3 human rights NGO. Okay, they close down Seacem today. There's another 10 groups, operating anonymously, and these people, ordinary people, they will train other people to use new media technologies. So can the government clamp down on everyone? You must know the concept of civil society does not only refers to organized NGO. An organization like Seacem and Suaram is what we call an organized NGO. But we are moving, the trend in the world today is we're moving away from a centralized, organized NGO to more smaller lobby groups. If you do not believe me, go to check Facebook. Okay? Every time an issue crops up that's important, a new group will be formed. So this small group, right, that consists of 3 or 4 volunteers, they will continue to champion the issues, and this is going to affect the government. One group, one Facebook group started by a group of 3 or 4 people, even students, right, will impact the entire netizens, and they will be the voters. So they will affected anyway.
Any last words you want to say before? Not last words. Anything else you want to say?
The last word is, I think in terms of foreign funding. Okay, I think that civil society groups need to find alternative way for fundings. Okay, normal citizen out there need to think that they can play a role. If there's, for example, kind of a new funding mechanism, a new foundation whereby the money comes from the public, and this money can be channeled towards the civil society is even better, because this will create a sense of ownership by Malaysians. So funding by Malaysian for Malaysian. So this concept is something we need to explore as well. And also the concept of volunteerism. Okay, volunteerism is something that I think Malaysians need to consider. Okay, and there's a lot of activities. They actually need only 2 or 3 hours of an individual's time, so they can contribute in some ways. Support certain groups. And the idea is we want Malaysian to have ownership of the cause that we are championing. At this moment, the gap is still there. Our human rights condition is terrible. Our democracy is weak. You know, our voice are slowly being eroded, and normal citizens need to come forward and play their role. That's my last word.